But God. But God. What do I mean? Why am I saying that? Have you ever gone through something? Have you ever been in a situation? Have you ever, having those moments where you just feel like, man, how am I going to make it out of this, man? Man, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to survive this, man? It's too painful. It's too heartbreaking. It's too much for me. I just can't handle this thing, man. Have you ever gone through something that just made you feel like, what? That thing, I don't know how I made it through, man. Have you ever had a moment like that? That's a but God moment. Where something should have destroyed you, something should have left you, down, something should have, just kill your morale, your mood, everything, man. Just made you feel like, you could have stayed depressed and full of anxiety, you could have stayed worried, but God. Have I had one of those? I've had many of those, man. I've been in a situation where I just feel like, man, how am I gonna get out of this, man? It's too much. But God. It's crazy, man. I feel like we take God for granted. Because He already does so much for us. He takes care of us. He provides for us. He loves us. He promised to love us forever. He said He will never leave us nor forsake us. But the crazy thing is we forsake Him. I'm sure we can go back to times in our lives where we were like, bruh, how did I make it out of this? How did I make it out of that? How did I survive that? I know I shouldn't have made it through that. But God stepped in. But God intervened. But God came and made a way for you. Like, let's look at the story of Moses. Like, those guys, they're in captivity, they're in slavery. I mean, in today's time, we could look at that as being slaves to our own sin, slaves to things. It could be anything. I'm sure the person watching knows. So you are a slave to whatever thing. But God stepped in. That's crazy. Yeah, we don't give Him the praise and worship He deserves. We're not even grateful. God has stepped in so many times for us. God has done so much for us, but we're not even grateful for that but God moment. God does so much for He does so much for us. The least we could do is at least go and say thank you. What's the least we could do? We could at least go and say thanks for doing that for us. You can just go put the phone down, turn off the TV, just have a moment with God and just say, Lord, thank you. That thing should have destroyed me, but God came in and made everything okay. I mean, yeah, it still sucked, it hurts, but God still came through. If we're just patient with Him enough, we'll be able to see Him coming through for us every time. We'll be able to see His goodness all around us. And today in church we're being taught it's either you're staying with God, you're standing with God, or you're standing against Him. There's no in between. That's just what we're told. It's either you choose to commit yourself to God or you commit to something else. I just want to say I hope we're choosing God, because no one will love us like He does. There is no other thing you can compare to God. He's living, He's caring, He's loving. What more could you want? He's a provider. He's always with us. What more could we want? What more? There are so many times God stepped in and came through for us. So let this video just be a reminder that, man, God has done so much for us, and we don't even appreciate Him for what He does. So let's appreciate it. Thank you, God, for that but God moment. Because who knows what would have happened if God didn't step in? Who knows what would have happened? I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to think about it. All I want to think about is how God came through for me and did something amazing for me. Trust God.